Hey guys, this is going to be a series on preparing for a model horse show, either novice, live show, open show, all different sorts of type of shows. I'll show you the steps that you need to go through and what to do, what to expect, how to keep things organized, stuff like that. So the first thing that you need to know is that when you go to a show, you need to determine whether it's live, open, or novice. Novice shows are, for course, beginner people learning how to show horses and models, and generally the judges are a little bit easier on novice shows compared to like live shows and open shows. Open shows are for all horses, meaning all different sorts of like models, China, Breyer, Peterstone, all different sorts of breeds, so forth. And a live show is basically the same thing. It's open to all horses, except that generally they can be a little bit harder in some cases, but generally open and live are pretty much the same thing. There's not too much of a difference. Now, you will find some shows that have, like, certain, like, it'll say in the title, like, custom flower petal show, So you can determine right there that it's only going to be a custom class. So there will be no original finished horses or China or anything like that. They will all be customs done by other people or, yourself or something. So when you first determine that, you say to myself, okay, well, it's an open show. And that means that I can show all different sorts of models, original finish and all that. Next, what I like to do is I like to go through my horses over here and determine what horses I'm going to show. So for this class, let's say I'm getting ready for the Arabian show, okay? So I come over here and I say, all right, well, here's my Arab horses that I've got right here. Now, most shows allow 3 models per class. That meaning like class, like as Arab class, part Arab class, Mustang, Spanish Mustang, draft, other draft. So those are different classes. Then you can put 3 horses in that one class, meaning that you can have a lot of horses for the whole show. Now, when determining what horse to show, you need to decide, is the horse LSQ or not? Okay, so I'm going to give you 2 examples. The first one here is LSQ. Okay, this guy means there's no flaws on him, no box rubs, no little paint splotches that have been done when doing other features, and his markings are really clean. He's got nice eyes. His eyes are really good. There's no mistakes. Clean markings, which are very good. And whoop. And then the next horse is not LSQ, okay? Now, a couple of problems with her. Now, when you look at a non-LSQ horse, yeah, she may look really nice, great coloring, great shading and all that, but the problem is that she's got flaws. If you see right, let's see if I can find some light here. Let's see, I don't know if you can see that or not, but right there, she has got... there you go, you can see it right there. You can see right there she's got a paint splotch that happened when they did her darker markings on her darker shading. And also her markings are not very clean. You can see here right there that she has some smudges where they put down the decal, and then when they put it down, they didn't press very hard, so it comes out smudged like that when they airbrush. So she is not LSQ. Now, if I wanted to make her LSQ, I would have to fix the flaws on her before you can paint her. Now, show her, I'm sorry. So, now, as you can see, the problem with these weather grills, is that they do fall over. That's why generally I try to keep them far apart, but they do fall over quite a bit, and it's just one of their flaws and such, but I don't worry about her falling over because she's not LSQ, so what's the point? Now, another horse that's not LSQ is something like her, okay? She's got other flaws too. She's got smudges, you can see there. She's a little bit easier to see. She's also got some damage flaws on the white back here that may be able to clean out more smudges. So she's got a lot of smudges on her marking, so she's not very good. But you know, you could fix them up by etching them out a little bit, and that would get rid of the smudging. Now, if you're going to show in an Arab class, you're going to have to determine, is the horse purebred or partbred. Now, with Arabs, a lot of Arabs do come in a lot of colors, but the only colors that they don't come in paints. Paints are something like her, they don't come in appies, things like that. They don't come in palomino. Most of their main colors are blacks, bays, grays, chestnuts, things like that. And generally other colors, Appaloosa, paints, things like that, they just don't come in unless they're part Arab. So with her, I would have to show her as a part Arab, an Arab/paint horse. Her, I would be able to put in the, well, she'd have to go in the paint or part Arab class too, because they don't come in palomino. So she'd have to go in the part Arab class along with her, and of course she'd go in the fantasy, but he would have to go in the part Arab. And he, on the other hand, may be a problem, because the problem with this guy here is, it's a big problem with some of the horses nowadays, is that the companies that manufacture the models don't do a very good job on color matching of the models. Now, you can see here his mane and his tail look almost stock white, and they practically are. The problem is that his registered papers that say what model he is and so forth say that his mane is supposed to be flaxen mane and tail. This is not flaxen. Flaxen is a combination of grays, whites, browns, golds, things like that. My own horse has a flaxen mane and tail. And this could be very deceiving, because if you try to show him as a bay, it wouldn't work out because he doesn't have dark enough legs. And if you try to show him as a chestnut, it may not work out well either. But the good thing is that because if you have a sheet that shows what color he's supposed to be, you can put that by the model, and the judge will say, oh, okay, that's the way it's supposed to be, you know, things like that. Because a lot of judges just don't know that, and they could say that he should be a part Arab because of his stock white mane and tail, all that business. So that's kind of complicated. And of course, when you're going to do for a show, you need to look at your horse's conformation. Now, with Arab breeds, there's different breeds within the breed, meaning that there's like Russian, Crabette, Egyptian breeds within the Arab breed, meaning that some of them have a little bit more stocky look to them, don't have as much dished head, you know, things like that. So with like the Huck mold, he would be more on the Russian Crabette side, which my own horse is. They're a little bit more stocky, they're not as lean, but they're still an Arab. They're 100% pure Arab, but they're just not Egyptian. This guy here, on the other hand, would be Egyptian. You can tell that they have a little bit more refined head. They're a little bit more on the lean side. They've got, you know, they have everything that the Arabs does. High tail carriage, arched neck, long legs, things like that. But they do come in different body styles, just like Frisians do. Now, when you're determining also that, you know, what horse is going to go in part Arab or whatever, part breed, whatever breed, you also have to determine whether that horse is suitable for that class. Now, of course, the weather girls are fine. You don't have to worry about them. But now, if you wanted to show, let's say, I need a good horse here for an example. Okay, here's a good horse. Like her. Okay, this mold here was originally a Frisian mold. Okay, you all know Golfert. It's supposed to be pure black, but this girl here is kind of a cream white color. She was the Christmas mold. Now, the thing to determine is that a lot of these draft breeds you have to be careful about, because some of them don't have feathers, and the judge will get you for that. So with the American Cream Draft, which I show her as, and she places every single time, which is great. They do have feathers, just like the Gypsy Vanners, which I could show her as, or Spotted Draft. But there are some draft breeds that just don't have all these feathers down here like Friesians do. So you need to be very careful about that. Now, here's a little tip. When you're showing in the quarter horse class, which is generally huge because the Breyer has a lot of quarter horses, and let me tell you, I've got 2 here, 1 here, 1 over there. I've got like 7 different stablemates. So yeah, I mean, the quarter horses class are generally very big. Here's a little tip. If you don't want to compete against all the quarter horses in that class, compete in the other class. Generally, most classes have an other class, meaning that if you forget your class, or if you want to put another horse in there, then you can put that in there. It's generally a good idea sometimes if you know the quarter horse class is going to be massive, and you have a very nice horse that you want to see will maybe place. It's always a good idea just to do that, because I remember one time I had a Arab, I mean, yeah, well, it was an Arab class, but there was probably maybe, I don't know, oh God, like 100 Arabs in that class. They had to have 3 tables, and my horse did not place because of it, and, you know, it's very hard when you have 100 horses per class, and sometimes they break them up into 2 different classes, or Arab A and then Arab B, so that they can, you know, judge them accordingly, so, you know, things like that. But generally the quarter horse class, the Arab class, the Friesian classes, the Shire classes, the Mustang classes are generally pretty big, because a lot of people have those models and there's a lot of them. So, you know, if you want to show your horse that you know is going to have a lot in that class, show them in the other class. See if they will even place in that. You are competing against other different breeds, but it's a good idea just to try it. And if it doesn't work out, then try the quarter horse class. I mean, you know, it always works in it, and it seems to be doing pretty good for me, just so I know if the horse will place or not. With other breeds, and then I'll try the quarter horse class because, you know, they're big. So the next part of this video is going to be how to get ready for your show. So get ready for part 2.